Vagnone. James, if it's WSIC, say it.
Your business matters.
Yeah. So we went to break.
Yes.
Let's get back to a little seriousness, but still keep it on the holiday.
Sure.
You want to talk about New Year's resolutions and what not to do?
No, I want to talk about how resolutions, how people, it's time of year where people are going, what do I want to do? What kind of new resolutions do I want to make? And invariably, they never get done. In fact, when you look at the statistics of New Year's resolutions, only 9% of people who actually make a resolution actually even complete it by the end of the year.
So it's like a bad time.
Oh, well, the research even shows even more
Really?
distressing stuff, and there's reasons behind this. So we're going to kind of tackle those real quickly.
Well, I only know that because of you. If you're
Yeah.
not motivated, don't even think it.
Well,
Like, the motivation comes
The
first.
motivation, it does, but there's more to that because
Okay.
I can be motivated for a second until it's 5 o'clock. I can be motivated. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then 5 o'clock in the morning comes around and it's 30 degrees outside, and I've got to do my run. I'm sitting in that bed where it's nice and toasty,
Okay.
warm, and everything, and having my coffee.
All right. Well, I didn't want to step on you. So
No, we're good.
So take it.
We're
take
good.
it.
So we said only 9% of the people actually who commit to a New Year's resolution actually complete it. We know that by the second week of January, 23% of the people who have made a New Year's resolution have already given up on it. That's after we're 2 weeks into it, and people are already saying, no, it's not going to happen.
That's interesting.
And then we know that by the end of January, 43% of those people have already decided it's no go. Maybe next year.
Wilton said he's going to lose some weight. Meanwhile, he's in eating all the candy
Yes,
I've been giving.
right,
him. Okay.
Right. And that's interesting because it's a New Year's resolution for most people. Is like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to lose weight, or I'm
Right.
going to make more money, or I'm going to be, whatever. The challenge with that is it sounds nice, but there's no plan behind it.
And what you taught me is better thing for me to do is say, I want to be a better Joe.
Yes, you have to define exactly what it is,
Right.
and you're now there's something that I like to say is, if we don't write our own story, life will do it for us.
You get that, James? We
It's
have
sinking
to
in.
write our own story.
So this is where you have to be a co-author
Starts
with
with
life.
a chapter.
Yes,
I-
we are going right there to a
Are we?
chapter.
I'm
Yes,
on
100%.
this. I'm on this.
Nice.
So-
Okay. Go on. I don't
Right.
want to step on you. Go ahead.
So life's undefeated. We know this. We can't sit there and say, well, I'm going to plan my day 100% this way, because life's going to happen. If you have family, business, just overall in general, life just happens for us. What's fascinating is if all of us decided to get in the car and say, hey, you know what, we're going to take an amazing trip and we're going to head down to the Keys. Key West. We all want to go to Key
Right.
West.
Yes.
We know that we go, man, it's gonna be great down there. I know for me, I love snorkeling with sea turtles and stuff. So I'm already there. I'm in a kayak. I'm already there in my
James,
mind.
can you tell he's already done all that? So you'll stand there. Okay, but go ahead.
So we'll be, oh, this is great. But then what we would do is we kind of plan for it. What would we need to bring? How would we get there? What car are we going
Right.
to use it? We would know along the way. We would anticipate gas. Maybe there's a tire that's going to be blown out. Maybe there's going to be a roadblock.
I gotta stop about every
Right.
hour and a half
Right.
and give me a snack.
Right.
I got to hit the Wendy's.
Yes.
I got to hit the Arby's.
Right.
There's some necessities.
Pick up some orange juice from that place that has it for free.
Oh,
free.
The free orange juice on the border of Florida.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got to do that.
All right,
then.
we'll add that to the list.
So
Okay.
as we're going down there, we would do this on our trip. This is what we're going to do. This is how
Plenty
we're going to do it. We're going
cigars
to
along
seal
the way.
cigars,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
From burners, of course. And as we do this, we would, this is how we're going to do it. It's to be expected, no problem. But for most people, they say, hey, I want to go ahead and lose 50 pounds because I don't want to feel miserable anymore.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't want to feel lazy or lethargic, or I want to have more energy for my kids. The challenge with that is the next morning you get up and there's really nothing there. Because you have what am I going to do? That's a big goal. 50 pounds, that sounds a lot. Or I want to make more money. There's no reverse engineering of what I need to do to make it happen that day. So what we need to do is how I like to look at it is, you need to look at your life as a story. And the very first thing you have to do is create a new chapter. So instead of writing a goal or resolution, I want you to think of it this way. What is a new chapter going to be called? For me, I completed 3 Spartans this year, 3 Spartan races.
Okay.
I'm doing
He's
one.
starting to show off now.
Yeah,
James.
No, they're fun. The reason I do it is
Braggadocious.
it's because I have to. It's because I have to get out and push myself.
Right.
I do trail runs and all this other stuff like that on days I don't want to do it. And when you're out and you're doing a Spartan race with the obstacles and you're running the 3 miles and you've got the environment and all the obstacles, it's me against me.
If I'm hiring you, I want you to be doing that.
Yes. You 100%, because if you don't know yourself and where your limitations are, the problem is we get up every day and we don't know who we really are. We get what everyone else has been telling us. We get what society's been telling us. We get what our friends have been telling us, our enemies.
That's an interesting statement.
But we never have really realized how good we are. Well, look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was really unique in this area. He knew he's the greatest among everybody. But to him, he wasn't the greatest until he knew every day he could walk off the court knowing that I pushed myself.
Right.
Kobe Bryant was the same thing. He created Mamba mentality just for that. So you have to look at it going, it's me against me. Everyone else may say I'm good and great and everything else like that, but am I going to be okay with going to bed at night knowing that I tackled this
You know,
day
it's
100%?
funny you say that. You know my son.
Yes.
I've had you work
That's
with my
right.
son.
That's right.
It's a joke's going around my family for years, right? Is whenever we're in a fight or something, you know, they're arguing with me, I always say, well, you know, not everybody can be Joe.
Yeah.
And I know it's fun, but you know where I'm headed
Yes,
with that.
yes.
I get to define my worth.
right.
And I don't want anybody defining my son's worth. I
Yes.
want him to define it.
100%.
Same thing with my wife. I want
Yes.
her to define it. So
Yes.
when I make that statement,
Right.
which is silly, and you know, of course, you know, that's just my way of doing it,
Right.
right? It really is saying, make your story.
Know where it's at. We get to define. It's like this. We go to life thinking we know where if we're going on a one-way road and you have the guardrails on one side and the other, we think we know where they're at, but we don't know it because we just believe what our past has told us. And if we don't have a vision for the future, we default to our past anyways. And if our past does not have any good answers, we know what our life's going to be like.
Right.
So we have to go, okay, if I'm this person, this is who I was, this is what I am at now. But I'm curious, if I did one thing that challenged me, what would it be? Who would I have to become? What would I do? What would I learn differently?
And sometimes for me, I'll say I'm something, I may not be there yet. Right?
And-
You know, remember
yes.
when I was losing weight, I said I was
Right.
the most handsome man
Right.
in Cornelius? Well,
Right.
okay. Maybe that was a stretch. But it really was. You were helping me
Yes.
define the direction I want to go.
Well, here's the other part of that. Every day you're earning the right. And I
Right.
always, then one of the biggest things I tell athletes, just because you won a gold or you won state or you're top, whatever it is, so what? I want to know what you're going to do the next second. What are you going to do the next day? Because all it really is, you're working for about 10, 5 seconds or whatever it is, a minute for that medal or award, but you're doing hundreds of hours and a lot of discipline and a lot of practice to make sure you get where you're at. So you better enjoy now because later on, all you'll have is now, and you won't be happy. So what you have to do is look at it. Okay, what's my story? What would I name that chapter? And find something that intrigues you. If you're reading a book or if you're watching Star Wars, you're already in there because you're looking at the guy, Luke Skywalker, right? When
Right.
they first start out with this, here's this guy.
I'm Yoda.
Yeah, right. He's
I
out
heard
here.
that.
He's just a farmer guy. He's a farmer guy out there, and the guy comes up to him and basically says, "You need to come with me. You're much more than you think you are." And he's like, "What are you talking about? I'm this little kid. I have nothing, and nobody." Even until Empire does he realize, well, I am more than I am.
And what I want people to hear from you is, because this is really important, right? You can complete a chapter,
Yes.
complete a goal.
Yes.
It's time for another one.
You should already have one kind of already
Right.
waiting because
And-
what happens is people will complete their goals and they're like, is this all there is?
Right.
And then, well, I just got to do this because this is how everyone else does it. The biggest thing the biggest shame about it is humans are capable of so much, but they're their own limitations of what they actually do. And that sucks. And I think that people should always be looking at what is it for me? It may not be for anyone else. What is it for me that's going to push and pull me in a direction so I know where I'm at?
Define yourself, describe yourself, and
Right.
call it a chapter.
Create
the
a new
book, and
chapter.
Let's go.
It's that person that you think of the rise of the phoenix,
Right.
Whatever that gets you motivated, and then start reversing engineering. What would that be like? How would I have to be? What do I have to do?
Let me, and for people that are listening, this is how you did it for me.
Yes.
You said, Joe, your book's going to be Joe 2.0.
Right.
There's the book.
Right.
Now I get to fill in the
You
chapters.
get all the different chapters,
Right.
and some chapters are great. Some chapters
That's right.
suck.
That's
and
right.
it's because it's not always gonna be it's not Luke Skywalker. He found out he was supposed to be this amazing kid, and
Right.
he's a Jedi. No. He had to go through a lot of different adversities, troubles. He had a lot of doubts, a lot of struggles to become who he was. And so what you do is we create the story. Then what you do is I want you to do is what are the stakes? What are the stakes if I this goal, whatever I've committed to? I wrote in that chapter. I know what kind of want to go to. I read this goal. This is what I want to go to. What are the stakes? I want to know something that can be won, and I want to know something that can be lost. So I want to know something that can be won if I do this, and what's going to be lost if I don't. So if it is about being in shape and stuff like that, something that could be one, it could be, well, I could be with my family more, spend more time doing the things I want to do, not having to worry about disease later in the future. Your influence always starts with your inner self. People want to take influence and sales courses and have someone else do it for you. But to be honest, if you're not influencing yourself, no one else is going to believe you. So you have to learn how to influence yourself, and you get to learn about yourself. So you go, okay, today I get to learn, what do I get to do? That means I don't get to eat a gallon of ice cream today, or whatever it is. I'm not saying you shouldn't have it once in a while. I'm just saying, understand what are the stakes that are there. And I also want to do this, is what happens if I don't achieve the goal? Is it a complete loss? Because a lot of times, most people who set goals, if it's good enough, won't achieve them. But that's not the important part. The important part is you moved forward. You learned about yourself.
I'm a little bit better
And
than
not only
yesterday.
that, here's what happens. You also became a brand or an identity. And when people see you doing this stuff over and over again, you become an identity. I know them. So that's the other thing too about it. You learn how to do the discipline of it, going, okay, I'm becoming this person. This is where I'm going after. They're seeing me going through day after day to go after this person. I now have currency in myself, and I have currency in others. And that always leads to future resources.
Chris, thank you so much, buddy.
Yep.
I appreciate it. James, say
Wow.
it. Wow. Yeah. Be the
Wow.
man. Guys, we've only got about 20 seconds. I wish everybody listening to have a great holiday. We're gonna run this, so people are gonna get a chance to hear this. Thank you guys both so much for sharing this holiday show with me. I really do appreciate it.
Grateful to be here.
Yes.
Both of you guys together. If it's WSIC,
Your
business
business
matters.
matters.
yeah.
1059, 100.7 WSIC. Stay